Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.
News Talk 1270 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. Welcome back. It's 7:29. That's 7:30 now. As soon as I say 7:29, it rolls over to 7:30. I'm just going to start rounding up.
There you go. I round up on everything.
It's 9:59. Time for me to go home.
Round up a couple hours.
Yeah, round a couple hours up.
Yeah, that's what I do with everything. My GPA, height.
IQ. Yeah, I do. I have to round up my height because it really depends on how straight I stand. It really is a strange thing because I don't have whatever that is, scoliosis, with the really crooked spine thing, but I do have kind of a bump in my back from something. I don't know what. I don't know if I was dropped on my head I'm sure I was dropped on my head as a child, but I'm not sure if that's what caused me to. So I have to, if I want to be 5'9", I have to stand perfectly straight, like chest out, shoulders back, and I'm 5'9". Otherwise, I'm 5'8.5".
You have to pose like a bodybuilder to get to the 5'9". I'm the same way. I feel you because I got this humpback going. So if we could just get that out of the way, I could be a nice 5'9.5" probably.
Yeah. See, and then of course, when it comes to getting your license, I have to drop a couple pounds off. So on my license, I'm 5'9" and 200, but really I'm 5'8.5" and 215. That's my goal. I should have put my goal weight. I'm
there. You go.
My goal was to be 5'11" and 165 pounds. It'll never happen.
That's like before I changed my license to the Wyoming license, but the Kansas license, it's been so long. That said, I was 160.
Oh,
those days are way gone.
Yeah, my I think I can't remember if I don't think my Delaware license did have weight on it, and it was about 30 pounds behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like 240 now, so that's 80 pounds later on the new license plate.
I wonder. I always wondered if they take all of that into consideration when, because you think about it. I mean, how women tend to get insulted when you ask their weight when they go to get their licenses. I wouldn't blame them for fudging the numbers a little bit on that. I mean, I certainly did. So I can't imagine women are telling the truth about that. I mean, unless they're really comfortable with their weight, which
Right.
I think everybody should be comfortable with whatever their weight is. But women tend to get a little bit testy about that.
Yes. Well,
I wonder if the DMV has ever had a woman that refused, or a man for that matter. Maybe there's some men that are testy about it too. I don't want to limit it, but I wonder if they've ever had someone that is so dead set on not telling their weight that they won't do it.
I don't know, but the woman thing, that reminds me of something. If you're going to ask a woman what she weighs, the best time to do it is for an icebreaker. Open with it.
Oh.
Ask her immediately. You go up, sit beside her, the boy, hey, how much you weigh? And when she's appalled by you.
Yeah, after she slaps you?
After she slaps you, say, I want to make up for it. And you get her a drink and then show your sweet side. Because women like jerks. Get
the bad part out of the way.
I'm telling you, it works. I'm telling you. Maybe not the weight. Maybe you don't ask the weight, but start with something. Your icebreaker should be a little bit jerky.
Never.
That's all I'm saying.
I would never. I've never asked a woman how much she weighs. I know better than that.
Or her age. Ask her what her age is. Hey, how old are you?
See, age isn't. I don't think it's quite the stigma as it used to be.
That's true, but I think it's a good icebreaker simply because.
Hey, how old are you?
hey, how old are you? And because they'll think, oh, you're not supposed to ask a woman that. See, they already have a comeback. So now you've already got a conversation started. Boom.
Oh, okay. See, I should have you for relationship advice.
Well, I got a new show coming.
Bad relationship advice.
1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I'm doing a love talk, relationships, everything. I give advice. People call in. It's going to be a good time. It's on every station here at the Basin Radio Network.
All
One to
5
3.
stations.
All 5 stations.
Let's try. We might have a phone call. It rang. I don't know if they were able to hang on, but we'll give it a shot. News Talk 1270. You're on the air.
Good morning. We need to be politically correct on this height and weight issue. It's vertically challenged and horizontally blessed.
Well, I'm certainly horizontally blessed. Thanks a lot for the call. I don't know. See, I'm only horizontally blessed right around the middle area. I mean, everything else. Well, and my chin. I have a double chin, but if I put my head down, sometimes it's triple. But my horizontal blessedness is only right around the middle. Everything else is perfectly fine. I know how to get rid of it, eat less and exercise more. But
that's no fun.
That's too much work.
That is way too.
Yeah. So I just go into businesses where I'm a small guy.
Yeah, exactly.
For radio guys, we're small.
Yeah. Just give me a couple of years. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And we're actually, this station is actually pretty healthy for the on-air talent. I mean, all of us are fairly small guys for radio guys. I mean, I've seen some radio guys that are just huge.
Oh, we could be our own cross-country team.
Oh, yeah.
We're
we could,
great shape.
We could beat any radio station in the country when it comes to being in shape. We have some pretty and look, as poor shape as I'm in, I'm pretty sure I could beat most of the radio guys. I don't know why it is that radio guys tend to be more horizontally blessed, but it just seems to be the thing there. And of course, I was a truck driver before this, and they're known for being big guys.
Right.
They do. I mean, they don't get a whole lot of exercise, so that's part of the job.
I do want to point out, by the way, that I said, and you thought it was crazy, that ask a woman her weight to do an icebreaker, or ask her how old she is to icebreaker. Look at this, we got a female caller.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, see.
And now and I wasn't going to ask the caller how much they weigh. Now, which sports talk guy is it that every caller says how tall they? Is it Dan Patrick, where every caller says, I'm 5'9", 200, and he rings a bell? Is it Dan Patrick that does that? Or
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I don't listen to Dan Patrick.
I can't remember which. I'm pretty sure it was Dan Patrick. But when the callers call in, they say how tall they are and what they weigh, and he rings a bell. So we could start doing that
like a boxer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I have no idea where it started. I just remember hearing it at some point.
I'm sure there's a lot of lies about their height and weight, probably.
Oh well, men. Trust me, men are as vain or more vain.
They are.
I would say men are even more vain about it than women.
We just don't admit it.
Now women, they'll be coy about it, and they'll refuse to answer, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Men will just outright lie about it.
Yes.
I mean, look at me. I mean, I'd drop 15 pounds off my driver's license.
If I called in the Dan Patrick Show, I'd lie. I'd be like, oh, it's Chris Brentel, 6'4", 210. Yeah, I'd lie.
Yeah, see,
that's way off.
I would probably throw a couple. I'd probably throw a couple inches on the top too, just because I am vertically challenged. I'm challenged in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm follically challenged. I'm vertically challenged.
Oh yeah, I definitely throw a couple inches on there. Why not?
I'm handily challenged. See, I have small hands.
I do too. Look at this.
So it's certainly.
I throw a couple inches on my hand size as well.
And now, see, you're not like me though. I have really small wrists.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, when I get a metal band watch, and luckily watches aren't a thing anymore. But in the past, when I bought a nice metal band watch, I used to have I think 2.5 links taken out of it. like 2 big links and 1 half link to make it fit. And even then it would be loose.
Huh.
So I just have a small wrist.
I never worn watches. I had a phone tells time.
Well, see, I think my generation might have been the last generation that wore watches on a regular basis. I mean, since you've been an adult, cell phones have been a thing. Smartphones have been a thing your entire adult life.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean, I think the original iPhone was the first thing where the smartphone became something that everybody had.
And the only thing I wear really on my hands sometimes is brass knuckles.
Well,
just in case any trouble arises.
Well, you're not supposed to call them brass knuckles.
Always be prepared.
They're called paperweights.
If
you go to a shop that sells brass knuckles, they're called paperweights.
Of course.
For legal reasons, because brass knuckles are illegal.
Brass knuckles are illegal. I learned that the hard way the other night.
Belt buckles and paperweights that look like brass knuckles. Legal.
Perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal.
All right. Then I only wear paperweights on my knuckles.
Yeah.
When I go to a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, don't. And I'm not going to say anything about the legality of it because I have no idea. It's probably illegal, which is funny because you can carry a gun anywhere almost. But brass knuckles, not so much.
Can I call it brass knuckles / paperweight?
Yeah, you can call it. You can call it a brass knuckles shaped paperweight.
There we go.
And again,
that's what we'll do.
And again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't take any of this advice seriously.
You know what's funny? The brass knuckles haven't been used in wrestling in a long time. Didn't you find that odd? Remember back in the day?
That is kind of strange.
It is strange.
It is kind of strange. Now
they need to make a comeback.
It's funny you mentioned wrestling because this is the last thing I wanted to ask you about. Have you seen this? Have you seen this video from this Mexican wrestling where this Mexican wrestler died in the ring?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey
did his move.
Rey Mysterio did just a regular drop kick. He did his finishing move after this. He did his finishing move after this, but he did a drop kick and hit the guy wrong somehow, and the guy's neck broke.
Oh gosh!
And then they finished the match, and then and you can all you have to do is look online. It's pretty much everywhere, but the medical staff, they were shaking the guy's head. I mean, he had a neck injury, and they're shaking his head trying to wake him up.
Oh my gosh!
So if
that's a sad story.
It is. I mean, it is a sad story, and it's Rey Mysterio is a guy who's had a great career. I guess he recently left WWE, or maybe he's still with them, and he was just doing this as a side thing, but. He went back to Mexico, and, well, he's not from Mexico. He's from San Diego. But his family's from Mexico.
I just feel horrible for this guy and his family, and then I feel bad for Ray as well.
Because it's one of these tragic freak accidents that happens, and then you get the people, well, it's fake. You can't say it's fake when this guy, this poor guy, let's see, what's his... Pedro Aguayo Ramirez is his real name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his. Hijo del Perro Aguayo was his wrestling name. But it's a scary thing to watch. I mean, it really is scary because you don't know what's going on because the announcers are speaking in Spanish, and you can tell there's something serious because everybody stops, and that's how you know something serious happens. And every 15 years or so, something serious like this happens in wrestling where somebody dies in a freak accident. I imagine they don't have the same safety precautions down there that we follow up here. So hopefully it leads to them maybe taking a little bit more care when they have somebody with a neck injury.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean. It's terrible for his family. I know it's a kind of a downer way to finish up a segment, but what do we have going on in sports?
Well, we have Cowgirl basketball.
Okay, sounds good. And I have guessed the rest of the show, so we'll see you tomorrow. News Talk 1270 KIML.
The #1 talk show in Northeast Wyoming. Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.